episode number 20 of the English to Takeaway podcast. My name is Jordan. I am an English teacher and content creator. You may know me from social media via English Lingo or English Lingo with Jordan. And I have my amazing co-host with me, Richard.
Oh, thanks, Jordan. Hi, everyone. So I'm Richard. I'm also an English teacher and a content creator. And on social media, I'm known as the Grammar Goat.
Yes.
Jordan, great to see you. We were having a bit of a chat, weren't we, before sort of hitting the record button? But I
Absolutely.
think you're really excited at the moment, getting ready to go for a little mini break
Yes.
to another country.
We're getting ready to jet off to Thailand this coming Sunday, and just for 4 days. But yeah, really excited because it's kind of like the first time that we've had the opportunity to go on a family holiday together, and I mean that in the sense that we've only ever gone to England or the Philippines when we lived in Japan. And of course, the Philippines is my wife's country and England is mine. But this time we're going to a totally different country as a family. So yeah, it's the first family holiday that we get the chance to enjoy.
Oh, amazing. I'm sure you're going to love it. I'm also so interested to hear all about Bangkok and how you find it as a city. And obviously last week we talked a bit about food, didn't we? And we joked about you eating scorpion, which I'm really excited to see. You've got to document that, Jordan, on camera. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, really excited for you guys, and also really interested to hear about Bangkok and what it's like,
Absolutely. I'm really really looking forward to walking around, seeing the sights and trying the different curries that they've got. I've seen they've got this really cool street where they serve red curry, red Thai curry, green, yellow. So I'm really intrigued and interested in trying some of those. I think it'll be great to enjoy the cuisine that they have actually.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. I remember you've become a bit of a foodie, and you're
Yes.
you're looking forward to trying all of the different food there. Oh, amazing. I can't remember if I asked you, how long is the flight from Philippines to Thailand?
So from the Philippines, it is around about 4 hours. You're, I think you're looking just over 4 hours, something like that. But because we live on an island, we have to fly, or we don't have to fly. We can take another mode of transport, but we are flying. We have to fly from here, Dumaguete, which is near to Cebu. So we're flying to Cebu, and they've got a big international airport in Cebu. And then we fly from Cebu to Bangkok. And so the trip to Cebu is very short. It's about 45 minutes, if that. And then we've got about a 4 hour wait in Cebu airport. So that's a little bit frustrating having such a long sort of wait time. But yeah, you can't really odds it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I like personally, like I don't mind stopovers in airports. I find airports are quite interesting places sometimes. It depends, of course, doesn't it? But if it's a nice
Yeah.
big airport, you've often got loads of shops and restaurants, and you've got a Starbucks or somewhere to get a coffee. So I actually don't mind. I think probably the 4 hours will probably fly by, hey, because you'll be excited as well for the trip.
Yeah. Although it might be the wrong time of the day because we'll probably be arriving at around 11 or 11:30 p.m.
Oh
In
wow.
Cebu. So yeah, we it'll be like early morning.
Okay, I take it back. It's gonna be tough.
But I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and be the annoying, like, content creator and take loads of videos and pictures in the airport to put out onto social media. So I can waste my time by doing that, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. Do you normally, when you're out and about, do you normally ask your wife to take photos of you? Is this what you normally do?
To be honest, recently I asked my 8-year-old daughter to do it. She's
Oh,
very good.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
She seems to have a keen eye for taking half decent photos. Actually, I'm impressed with her when she's doing it, and now she claims she says, like, whenever I'm talking about, like, oh, can you take a video or can you hold the camera, and my wife goes to do it, and my daughter goes, no, mummy, it's okay, I'll do it, I'm better than
Oh,
you. It's like competition. I'm better than you.
amazing. My eldest son actually is also pretty good. Yeah, I've trained him pretty well now. He's quite good at taking photos of me.
Nice.
Whenever we go for like a coffee to a local coffee shop, he always gets my phone and starts snapping away and taking photos of me. Must look really, really weird for people in the coffee shop.
Yes.
Thinking, why is this boy taking photos of his dad, sort of doing a stupid grin at a chocolate cake? Because we do take some pretty ridiculous photos, don't we, for our social media
We
sometimes,
do.
but
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all part of it. I just don't care anymore. I used to be a little bit self-conscious about, taking photos and, doing strange faces and things like that. I really
Yeah.
don't care anymore. I just embrace it.
Yeah. I think as you get older, you don't really you don't really get bothered by it anymore. I'm not too worried, and I just do it because I want to. And if people are looking at me in a strange way, then okay, no problem. It's fine.
The crazy, you're probably known as the crazy Englishman, yeah, in the Philippines for the
Maybe, yeah.
yeah.
But I must admit, the Philippines is quite. I don't know whether or not it's similar in other countries, but I think the Philippines is quite accepting of people taking pictures in a good way. I mean, like, you can ask the staff of a restaurant or a coffee shop to have a picture with you, and they're cool with it. They're like, yeah, no problem. Like, they're really happy to be in the picture. So I've not experienced once ever being refused. Yeah, they're very accommodating like that. So I think they've got kind of affinity with social media and taking pictures and videos. So it's not a big problem here, actually.
Oh, that's good. John, I was going to say, you might want to check your mic connection. I don't know whether it's my internet, but your mic is cutting out a tiny, tiny bit. It sounds like maybe like the lead to the mic needs just to be plugged in again or unplugged and plugged in.
How about now?
I'm sure that'll be fine. Yeah, when it just slightly crackles and yeah, it was
Okay.
just doing that earlier. So
Not sure why.
it's all right.
Is it?
But
Is that okay now?
yeah, that sounds fine now. Yeah. Um, so yeah, oh, that's really interesting to hear. In the Philippines, another reason for me to come and visit you, I think, in the Philippines, that we could get some really cool photographic content, couldn't we, together in local places and things.
Absolutely. Yeah. You should definitely come to the Philippines. I'm sure you'd love it. It'll be brilliant.
Yeah, no, I'd love
Yeah.
to.
It's
Um,
it's a fun fun place actually. Like there's a lot of places that you can go to that are very naturally beautiful, of course. There are some other places where very traditional, and others that are very modern, like in places like Bonifacio Global City in Manila, which is just an amazing metropolis of modern buildings. So yeah, there's a lot of different places that you can enjoy actually here. So it'd be quite good if you did.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, apart from getting ready for your trip and working, have you been up to much? Have you done anything interesting in the past week?
Uh, in the last couple of days, actually, my daughter and I have started playing tennis again, and we've I re-gripped the rackets that we had that we have, and yeah, we went to the local tennis court and started playing. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning yesterday just to
Wow.
go and play tennis for an hour. Yeah.
So I
It's
guess before it gets too hot, right, you have to play early morning.
exactly right. Yes.
Yeah.
Played, so yesterday was Tuesday. We played Monday at around, I think it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was scorching hot. It was really, really, really hot. I was just dripping with sweat. So no, I made the conscious effort of, right, okay, I'm gonna wake up early and we're gonna go and play before it gets too hot and I burn to a crisp.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess, does your daughter really enjoy tennis?
She's into it. She's really determined to play more, and she wants to get better at it. Monday was the first time that she's ever really properly played with a net. So we've played in the park in Japan, just on the grass, hitting the ball to one another. But Monday was the first day that she actually ever tried on opposite sides of a net and trying to get the ball over the net. So that was interesting. It adds another element to to her game and learning about it. So yeah, I'm happy that she's interested in tennis. I think it's a great sport for her to try.
It is a great sport, isn't it? It's a fantastic sport. Yeah, I agree. Like, great sport for fitness, for getting stronger as well, and
Absolutely,
it's got that competitive element to it as well.
of
Oh,
course.
very, very cool. That's
Yeah.
dedication as well. What a dedicated dad, getting up at 6 a.m. Hats off to you. Very well done. That's amazing.
uh, if I can continue doing that, I'm happy, because it means that I get up early. I can do a few things in the morning as well, and then she's happy and doesn't badger me to go and play tennis. Uh, I get it out the way early, and it's done for the day.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that sounds perfect. Sounds great.
Absolutely. How about yourself? How's your week been? Have you been doing anything interesting this past week?
Yeah, nothing very, very interesting, I don't think. The dog has been keeping me busy, like stealing my stuff from like the kitchen counter. She stole my favorite hat yesterday, which I thought I'd put it out of reach, and she saw it, and
Yeah.
she managed to get it somehow. I just couldn't get it off her. I spent about 20 minutes in the garden, first trying to chase her, and she's just so quick. It's
Yeah.
impossible to catch her. Then trying to tempt her with like food to get her to drop it, and that didn't work. This hat was, her prized possession. Um, so in the end, I literally, like, really bad dog training, but I just had to give up in the end and just leave
Yeah.
her with it. and eventually she got bored and left it, but it's pretty chewed up. It's pretty chewed up and mangled up now. So yeah, the dog is keeping me very busy. One thing that happened that was, I don't know whether it's interesting, but we had a water leak upstairs, which
Oh
was
no.
pretty annoying. Yeah, so I was sat watching telly in our living room, and I noticed this huge brown stain on the ceiling, which was obviously water
Yeah.
leaking out of. We've got like a water pump
Yep.
in our airing cupboard that helps with the water pressure. Now, I don't know about you, Jordan, but I am terrible with everything DIY. You know, if something goes wrong at home, I'm straight on YouTube. But even with the help of YouTube, I'm terrible. So yeah, I just didn't know what to do. Basically, I didn't know how to turn it off and turn the
Oh
water
no.
supply off to it. So it was a bit of a frantic time trying to sort it out.
Did you get the
But
plumber in?
well, first I called the company because I
Right.
figured the company will be able to help, and they're
Yep.
like, "Oh yes, I can see the pump is 2 years old, and you've got a 3-year warranty on it. So if there's any problems, I'm sure we can come out and replace it." I was quite surprised at this. I thought this is incredible. For once, it's a stroke of luck,
Yeah.
for once. But unfortunately, the lady on the phone was like, "Can you WhatsApp me some photos of the pump?"
Right.
And so, like, I took some photos, and call me cynical, but I think these companies are looking for any excuse
Yeah.
to say, "Oh, sorry, but your warranty is invalid." And surprise, surprise, she was like, "Oh, you've got
Yeah.
the temperature of the water at 70 degrees, but unfortunately, the pump needs to be set at 65 degrees. So I'm
Mm.
afraid, sir, that your warranty is invalid." So game over,
Wow.
basically. So I had to buy a new pump, pay for a plumber to come out and replace it.
Yeah.
Um,
They
yeah, nightmare.
they worm their way out of things quite easily, don't they, in those situations? Yes.
Yeah,
They are very
yeah,
they never want to honor their their warranty or guarantees at all. There's always something that just to invalidate your warranty. It's crazy.
yeah, exactly. And I think the plumber must have. Well, his work. He was here barely sort of 5 minutes, sort of
Yeah.
replacing it. Sort of screw here, take it up, take the old one off, fit the new one, and then charge me an incredible amount of money. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think we need
that's the
to
way it
become
is.
plumbers. Basically, we're in the
Yeah,
wrong industry.
plumbing's a very good trade to have,
Mm,
actually.
mm.
Absolutely. I think when I was growing up, there was a shortage of plumbers, but now plumbers they seem to be making a decent amount of money. And yeah, it's a great trade, I think, of course. But yeah, that's incredible that they invalidate it so easily and so quickly just by noticing that you didn't have the correct temperature on it. That's mental. That really is.
It is, isn't it? It's almost like and yeah, any excuse basically. Oh, sir, sorry, you just sneezed on it. Sorry,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to that writes off the previous 2 years that you've looked after it. So pretty much any excuse, isn't it, that they'll
Yeah.
find to not pay for a new one.
Oh, I see you've got the pump turned on.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, that invalidates your warranty. You
yeah.
shouldn't
Sorry,
turn
so
it
you,
on.
you can't have it turned on, sir. No, you can't be doing that. Um, Are you quite, here's a nice word, handy. Are you quite handy at home? Are you good at DIY and fixing stuff, Jordan? I think you probably are.
Yeah, yes and no. I suppose I've got it within me in terms of my family because my dad's a builder, and my granddad was a builder as well. So yeah, I've got the desire to build things. So I do enjoy trying to fix certain things and make them better in terms of, you know, seeing them through to when they can be properly fixed. But only small things. I never, like plumbing. God, no, I would never touch that because I'm scared that I would do more damage than good, to be honest. Yeah, I know how much damage water can do to property, and I would never want to touch it just in case it all went pear-shaped and just went everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's scary, isn't it, when you've got a water leak in a way, because you just think, if you're clueless like me,
Yeah.
you literally think, what is going to happen here? If it all goes pear-shaped and water really starts gushing, I don't even know how to turn the water off. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to do that. I'm so clueless. So
Yeah, especially in the ceiling as well. Like you're worried it's gonna, you know, cave in and just like a big waterfall come down on top of you, right?
I think if that happened, I'd just accept it. I'd just sort of stand under it, maybe get some shampoo, get some body soap out, just because there's nothing I'd be able to do. I just
quickly,
wouldn't be able to stop it.
quickly get the camera. There's a hole in my ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. Quick, son. Yeah, leave a space above. Yeah, that's it. Perfect
Yeah.
angle. Yeah, I'm a bit of a black sheep in my family, actually, because my dad is extremely handy, with
Right.
all things DIY, electrics, plumbing, building stuff. He's amazing. My sister as well is very, very good, at building things, and she makes furniture, and
Wow.
then, you cut to me, with a hammer and a nail,
Yeah.
trying to whack a nail into a wall, even for me, is probably too much. So I am the black sheep of the family in that regard. Yeah.
Cool. Interesting. And have you got do you have any news stories for us that we can have a look at and discuss this week?
I do. Yeah, I do. I found
Awesome.
a news story. Often you have news stories from Japan. So I found one this week from Japan.
Okay.
So basically, when you lived in Japan, did you ever hike up Mount Fuji, Jordan?
I did. Yes, I did hike up Mount Fuji. Yes.
How was it? Was it challenging? How long did it take?
Um, we set off at, I would say, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we climbed up to, I can't remember the name of the station now. I got the numbers of them, but we had about an hour left, and there was this kind of like hotel lodge area. So we stayed there, had a little bit of food, etc. And then when it came to about 3 o'clock in the morning, we then climbed up because we watched sunrise from the top.
Oh,
And
wow.
I must admit, it was amazing. The best experience like I could have ever dreamed about, seeing sunrise like I can't really describe it other than like theater curtains when they kind of open, but
Mm,
they, instead of them going up, they open sort of like that, and then you
mm.
have this red beam of light, and yeah, it's amazing. It's beautiful. So all in all, I would say like ascending and descending the next day, it probably took the best part of, I don't know, let's say 14 hours because we stopped, we rested, etc. But you can do it in shorter period of time. If you're quick, you can go up and down quite easily.
Mm.
Yeah, so all depends on on the conditions. of course.
Sure. Oh wow, the sunset. Oh, so not sunset. Sorry, the sunrise
Yes.
sounds incredible. So yeah, my story is not as poetic as your story. It's basically about a student, not a Japanese student, but a student from another country who he was hiking up Mount Fuji and he got altitude sickness.
Oh
So
yes.
he had to be rescued and he had to be airlifted, down to safety. And
Yes.
then 4 days later, the same student was rescued again from Mount Fuji and again airlifted out with altitude sickness because he thought he had left his mobile phone somewhere
Yes.
up the mountain. So he went back to try and find it and again developed altitude sickness and was again airlifted off the mountain. So I think it caused a bit of uproar and he got a lot of criticism from the public in Japan because of,
Absolutely.
they considered it a waste of, the rescuer's time and efforts and money, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So a little bit to unpack there. I was going to ask you a couple of follow-up questions. So I'm guessing have you ever been rescued from a situation that, in which you were in danger? Has that ever happened to you?
Not really rescued, but like we went on a we went on a trip in the Philippines, and it was like an island hopping trip, and we we stupidly left it late to come back. We left it a little bit too late in the afternoon, and the boat that we were taking was not geared up for those kind of conditions, and I'm talking like 10-foot waves. Like they
Oh,
were,
wow.
yeah. And yeah, I was incredibly thankful that the guy, the boatman, was incredibly experienced, because if it was somebody that wasn't experienced, I think, yeah, we probably wouldn't have made it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was incredible. It was, yeah, one of the, yeah, scariest moments I've had. Actually.
So I
Yeah.
guess, did you look at would you call him the captain?
It,
Of
it's
the,
hard
of the
it's hard to say, like, captain. Yeah, you can call him a captain, yeah, I
uh,
suppose so. Yeah.
I mean, so you sort of looked at him and he was calm, was he? So that sort of filled you with confidence that you were going to get out of the situation.
Yeah, I was just like, I was pretty much, because they were so high and the drop was incredible. I was just like
Mm.
hanging on for dear life. uh and I remember, I always remember the one sentence that I used. It's only the only thing that I can remember from that particular trip back was, my wife was trying to say something to me, and I I snapped, and I angrily said, "Will you just shut up? I'm trying to stay alive." Uh,
You what a drama queen, honestly.
I look back on it now and think, "Ah, what an absolute idiot I was for saying that."
Does she remind you of that then sometimes? She's probably never forgotten.
Oh, it comes up sometimes. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yes. Yeah, but yeah, that was a scary situation indeed.
So
Very
that
scary.
that that was like the first question to come from that story, and the second question to come from my story was, I guess, as a content creator, and your mobile phone is your business, if you want, your
Yes.
lifeline almost. What lengths would you go to get it back? I guess so. Say you were on a boat, Jordan, and your phone went overboard into the sea. Do you think you'd dive in and try and get it?
Depends how deep it is, really. Yeah,
Mm.
like, if yeah, if I could, then I probably would. But Yeah, I kind of, if something like that happens, I probably, I wouldn't do what he did. No, not at all. I'd be like, oh well, okay, I've got to buy another one now. Not not saying that, you know, I can easily go and spend a load of money on a new phone. I can't, but I don't. I wouldn't want to risk my life just for my phone. No, definitely not.
I think I probably would have gone back up the mountain.
Really?
Actually, yeah, I, I think I probably would have done. I'm so protective over my phone.
Wow.
I think I probably would have. Yeah, within a matter of hours, I'd have been back on the mountain, I reckon. Yeah, I don't know. I
That's
don't know.
incredible. Yeah, it's hard. I think when you're when you use it specifically for work, you know, it's very very difficult not to have it with you, of course. So no, I can understand why you would want it. Of course, it's important indeed.
What was your news story this week, Jordan?
So
What have you found?
a really interesting one in terms of like building. Um, Starbucks have opened a brand new 3D printed store in America.
Wow.
It's their first ever 3D printed store. And they've got, I didn't realize this, how many locations they've got. They've got 17,000 stores or locations across America. But the newest one is in Texas, and it was basically built by 3D printers of like concrete. So they could basically build the structure, they could build the building relatively quickly, and it wasn't too difficult because, you know, it's done by computer, done by robots. So it was just people operating those particular robotic arms, and they layer it with concrete. So they do one layer of concrete and then another layer, and then it builds up. And that's how they effectively create their new stores. So I thought that was really interesting in
Mm.
terms of like being able to build things quickly in a much shorter space of time. Do you think you would live in a house that was made from a 3D printer? Would you be interested in having a house made by a 3D printer?
I can't quite get my head around it, to be honest, how that would work. I think I need to go away and look into 3D printing, to be honest, because I can't get my head around how you'd print a 3D print a building. That's crazy.
It is,
What
yeah.
how quickly then did they manage to sort of assemble and create the building? Do you know sort of how quickly it was erected?
It didn't really say the actual time frame of it. It just said that it was a little bit more expensive because of the technology, and they didn't use the traditional like wood framing that they would usually have.
Mm,
However, I think this one is more sturdy in terms of, you know, if it's battered by hurricanes or anything, you know, adverse in the weather. I think it's a more sturdy structure than a wooden framed one. But they didn't actually say the time frame, how long it took. It just said quicker than usual. So yeah, I wouldn't like to state how quickly it was. I don't really know. But
no, sure.
yeah, it's quite interesting in terms of being able to do, you know, do something of that size so
Mm.
quickly. Actually, yeah, it's really really cool.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's going to be possible in the future in terms of construction and how they're going to be constructing buildings and things. I'm going to look into that. We can talk about that maybe next time. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do a bit of research into that because yeah, I don't really know much about 3D printing.
Yes. Yeah.
Also incredible, they've got 17,000 Starbucks shops in the US. I thought you were going to say worldwide, but
No,
just in the US. That's
in
crazy.
America alone. That's incredible.
That's a lot of coffee, isn't it?
Well,
Wow.
I was thinking it would fuel your you know, your affinity of going to Starbucks and going to coffee shops, right? So you could go to a Starbucks wherever you wanted to in America.
Yeah, I bet it's great as well. I bet bigger and better, isn't it? They say in America. So um yeah, I do love my coffee. So yeah, I would love to do
Absolutely.
that. A Starbucks tour. All
Awesome.
right, cool. Should we head into the English to take away part
Absolutely.
of the
Yeah,
pod?
I think we got a cracking list actually today. It's really interesting. Please, as you always do, please start with the first one.
Yeah, we'll do. It's been quite an eclectic conversation today, hasn't it?
Yes.
From talking about water leaks to Bangkok to Starbucks to printing to Mount Fuji. We've been sort of all over the globe today, haven't we, in terms of
Yeah.
our discussions? All right, so the first one's a phrasal verb that you used when you were talking about leaving and
Okay.
flying to Thailand, to jet off.
Oh
So I
yes.
think you said, we're going to jet off in a few days. So yeah, it's a nice, useful phrasal verb, I think, if you're traveling by aeroplane anywhere.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And similarly, linked to that one, you mentioned about the time spent in the airport, and the phrase that you used was "it will fly by." So again, this means the time will pass very quickly, but we can say "fly by" as another phrase, another natural phrase to use in terms of something that goes very quickly. So yes, flyby was a really interesting one to use in that sense.
Great. The next one's probably my favorite. Sort of, I guess it's an idiom. Probably my favorite idiom from the pod today. You said, I can't remember. I think I do remember. I think you were talking about the water leak on my ceiling, and you said um, it could go even more pear-shaped. I think that's when you used pear-shaped, but to go
Yes.
pear-shaped is when a situation doesn't go to plan or goes wrong.
Yes.
So I think you were talking about the water leak, weren't you? And it getting worse and there being more and more water.
Yes.
Um, yeah.
Absolutely.
So you can say, I hope it doesn't go even more pear-shaped. So I hope it doesn't
Absolutely.
go even more wrong. So great idiom to go pear-shaped.
Fantastic. And the one that you used talking about your son taking pictures, again, a phrase. Uh, you said he was, or he usually is, snapping away, meaning taking a lot of photos. It's basically when we hear the sound of like a photo, a camera shutter. We talk about it snapping, and that's where the phrase snapping away comes from. But yes, I thought that was a great expression to use in terms of taking lots of photos.
Amazing. So yeah, so from to snap away to take photos, the next one I've got is to snap, because you said you were sort of scared, you were worried on this boat that you
Yes.
thought might sink, and you said, I snapped at my wife. stop talking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to stay alive. Was that the quote? Brilliant.
Such a dramatic sentence that I use there.
It's like something from a Bruce Willis movie, isn't it? From a Die Hard movie, something you'd imagine sort of
Yeah.
action hero to say. But yeah, I snapped. So when you sort of speak angrily at
Yes,
someone,
that's
we
right.
can also use the verb to snap at someone. Yeah.
Absolutely. Good. The next one that we had was a stroke of luck. This is when you mentioned calling the company that made the pump, and you thought you had a stroke of luck by it being in your warranty, meaning that you felt lucky at that time. You thought the worst was going to happen, but then when you called them, they said, "Oh no, sir, your warranty is 3 years. It's only 2 years." And okay, that's a stroke of luck. I felt lucky at that particular moment. So yes, stroke of luck is a great one to use.
Nice. Okay. Next one, you were talking about again taking photos, and you were talking about your daughter, and you basically said that your daughter is very good at taking photos. So you said, my daughter has a keen eye for taking photos. So I think it's a really nice expression, to have a keen eye for something. When would we use it? I guess you obviously use it for photography, for creative things, probably, that you're
Yeah.
using your sight
Yes.
for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
A keen eye. Like, I think also, like, you could say a keen eye for antiques as well. Like when you're sort of analyzing or observing something of maybe some value, a keen eye for fashion as well, because it's stylistic, I think. So yeah, anything I think to do with creativeness probably works well with that phrase. The one that I had, I really like this one, and it's a great one. The black sheep of the family. Uh, I hadn't heard it for a long time. It was a really good one. Basically meaning you are not the same as everyone else in your to your sister, your mom, your dad, brothers, whoever. So you maybe have different interests or you have different skills. So that's why we would say, yes, I am the black sheep of the family, meaning I am different to all of the other members of my family.
Cool. It's quite a visual idiom, that one, isn't it?
Yes, it's a good, very nice one.
I think if you Google it, if you look it up online, you get some really cool images of that idiom that makes it quite memorable, I think.
Absolutely.
All right. So from black sheep, we'll go into my last one. It's another expression with a worm in it.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the company that told me that they wouldn't replace my water pump
Yes.
for free, and you said, oh, these companies, they always try to worm their way out of giving you back your money, or worm their way out of helping you. So if someone worms their way out of doing something, it means to avoid doing something, but often in like a dishonest or deceptive way.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a nice, and again, another very, very nice expression.
A negative expression in that sense. Yes.
Negative meaning, yeah, but
Absolutely.
possibly useful. Yeah, possibly
Oh yes.
useful. Yeah.
Definitely. And the one that you mentioned when talking about Mount Fuji, Really like this one. Very, very descriptive in terms of talking about the reaction of a group of people. You said there was uproar among the people in Japan because of this person wasting rescuers' time. Uproar is a great expression to use when we're talking about a collective feeling of negativity, possibly people being angry, disappointed. So yes, we can use uproar in terms of collectively describing the people's reaction, which was a great one. Yes.
Nice. Shall I recap as I normally do?
Please do. Yes.
Okay, so we had to jet off, we had the time will fly by, we had to go pear-shaped, we had snap away, we also had snap as a verb to angrily say something to someone.
Yes.
A stroke of luck, have a keen eye for something, to be the black sheep of the family, to worm your way out of doing something, and the last one, uproar, or to cause uproar. Nice,
Fantastic.
Jordan. What a great list of vocabulary there and expressions.
Quite a lot of idiomatic phrases there today, wasn't there?
Yeah, there were. I wonder why. I don't know why that is today, but
yeah, quite cool to actually see them in sort of in a list in use as well. I think sometimes we don't really recognize that we're saying those things when we're in conversation with other people. So yeah, it's interesting to kind of dive deeper into them and look at them. Actually, it's really interesting to see the variety.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. All right, well, yeah, so before we finish, so just to say to everyone listening and watching, if you've got any news stories that you come across in the news and you think, Richard and Jordan should discuss this, please send us an email, englishtotakeawaypod@gmail.com. Yeah, please send us an email with your news stories. Also, if you've got any English language questions, you can also email those in as well.
Perfect. Absolutely. We are eagerly awaiting any of those, of course, coming in. But fantastic. That is number 20. Done and dusted. Yes.
And I am eagerly awaiting news of your scorpion meal in Bangkok. I can't wait to see the photos and watch the video.
Monday's breakfast, maybe.
Lovely. Perfect.
Fantastic. Awesome. Take care of yourself, Richard. I'll see you very soon.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
Bye. Bye. All right.